And you're listening to Soundside. I'm Libby Denkman, continuing our coverage of Sunday's shooting at Seattle Center, where 3 people were killed and several more wounded. A 15-year-old suspect is in custody. Police say they believe a 19-year-old, who is one of the deceased, was also involved in the shooting. Seattle's mayor and chief of police just finished a press conference about this investigation. KUOW reporter Paige Browning was monitoring that update, and she joins me now. Hi, Paige.
Hi, Libby. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So who spoke at the press conference? What kinds of top-line things do you want to highlight for the listeners first about what you learned?
Sure. Yeah. As you said, it was just the mayor, Katie Wilson, and police chief Sean Barnes. We learned they still are seeking another person involved on top of the one suspect who had a court appearance yesterday and reiterated that the 19-year-old who was killed was believed to be involved in the shooting. But notable today, 3 weapons were recovered. 2 the night of, 1 yesterday during the cleanup of the scene. 1 was a handgun, not believed to have been fired off during the event, and the 2 others were both what Washington State considers high-capacity guns. That's defined by Washington by holding more than 10 rounds. 1 was a ghost gun. These are homemade firearms, and 1 was a pistol. Both had extended magazines attached for extra ammo. That fact clearly concerned the chief and mayor. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I just really quickly want to underline a ghost gun. That would be something that's untraceable.
Those are untraceable. They have no serial number. They are homemade and really concerning for Washington State. They're not legal here. And that not only was a ghost gun, it had an extended magazine attached with more bullets left in the clip.
Yeah, more than, Washington law limits magazines to 10 rounds, and
Yes.
the Supreme Court here has upheld that as well. What else do you want to highlight, Paige?
I want to highlight that another thing we learned is police really want to speak with one of the shooting victims. They have spoken with all of the living victims except for one, a 27-year-old man who reported himself to UW Medical Center on Sunday night with injuries. For privacy reasons, police can't get his name and have not spoken with him. So today they're sending a plea to him. Come forward. We want to hear what information you might have.
Did they say anything more about the people who may be responsible here for the shooting? Any more information about what happened here, motives, anything?
Sure. No more information was disclosed in this news conference about the people involved, except we heard more definitive statements that this could be gang-related. We heard that from the chief and from Mayor Katie Wilson.
Police believe that this was targeted gang-related violence and continue to look for other possible suspects. At the press conference held Monday at noon, I shared a little bit about our approach for dealing with gun violence long-term. We are bringing in an expert in gun violence reduction, including youth violence prevention, who will partner with our city staff and our community-based partners to strengthen our coordination and accountability across our existing bodies of work.
We just spoke with Community Passageways earlier in this hour about the work that they're doing with violence prevention. They strongly believe that upstream work is what has to happen here in order to prevent stuff like this from occurring. Paige, there had been mention at a previous press conference, and this is something that has been a debate in the city now for months. There was mention that there was potentially camera footage available about what happened here. Do we know any updates? Was there camera footage?
So we know that there's confirmed no CCTV, closed circuit television that the city runs, and no existing plan to add it at Seattle Center. But there was a lot of discussion about cameras. We did not get specifics, but heard Mayor Wilson and Chief Barnes say there's a lot of footage that they have from other locations on campus and nearby businesses, in addition to dozens of pieces of digital evidence from witnesses, people there, vendors, people going there to get a bite to eat, videos, photos, etc. And Barnes spoke a little bit more about how they're reviewing this.
We have no real-time crime center cameras in that area, but we are currently reviewing all available camera footage in the entire area. This effort is being led by our homicide detectives as well as our SPD digital forensics team. We actually have a team of specialized investigators that know how to access, find, and download camera footage.
Just keeping an eye on some of the chatter that's come out of the newsroom. it seems like the mayor was asked if her thinking about cameras has changed and whether, she has put a pause on the expansion of the real-time crime center cameras.
Correct.
Which would not have gone into Seattle Center, to be clear. Like they were thinking about expanding them to areas like the Capitol Hill nightlife zone.
Correct.
Did the mayor answer anything about that, about whether an incident like this changes her opinion about the necessity or the usefulness of cameras?
The mayor has been fairly on the same message in each news conference that, yes, I understand public safety is my top priority as mayor, but we are balancing security and privacy. And she did say, look, we're waiting to get the results back from a study on closed circuit television, and we have not seen that yet. And that will be reviewed by the city. That is really the message she's staying with.
Yeah, and that those audits are coming from NYU and from elsewhere to kind of look at data privacy, to look at the effectiveness and what these cameras may do for law enforcement. So, Paige, does what you heard today at the press conference change anything about what we know about the shooting or the aftermath so far?
Nothing really changes the story, but it does give an increasing focus on gangs and organized groups. This has been a question. They seem to be solidifying it more. Chief Barnes says they're still determining what groups or gangs may have been involved. It was believed to be targeted. And they made clear to say, we do not think there is a risk to the public. So they are continuing to say that. The public is safe from this scenario, but that there is a danger to the people involved in these relationships with the people who fired shots, people who are involved in the same organized groups. And the city and its partners are really laser focused now on having engagement with the families or people affiliated with those involved in the shooting.
Can I ask, was there any clarity about the people they say were involved here, police? I mean, there's a 15-year-old suspect in custody. There is a 19-year-old young man who is deceased now, who police seem like their certainty has been increasing that this person was involved somehow in the shooting.
Right.
But then they've also said that there was potentially this third person that they're looking for.
Yes.
I mean, obviously this story has been changing hour by hour.
It keeps changing, Libby.
Yeah, a lot of different information about, initially there were 2 suspects in custody, then that was overturned. And did you get any more clarity about who exactly the third person they might be looking for and if they were involved in the shooting?
I would not say we got more clarity. In fact, it raised some question marks in my mind because Mayor Wilson said we know at least 2 people were involved in the shooting,
leaving open the possibility that this potential third person was not involved.
That's to be determined. So
Okay.
She said at least 2. There was no definitive there were 3 shooters. At least 2 people involved in the shooting. It was notable to me that the chief, Sean Barnes, said 2 of those who died and 4 of those injured are not related to the suspects in any way.
Bystanders.
That they were bystanders.
Yeah.
So that is 6 of the 8 people shot, they believe, were not related to the suspects in any way. So that leaves one of the deceased, this 19-year-old who they've identified, they think was involved. And then maybe this 27-year-old, they might not have been involved, but police have not been able to track this person down.
They want more information.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're hoping that somebody will come forward, or perhaps that 27-year-old will come forward.
Right.
A minute left here, Paige. Any questions you still have following this press conference?
Well, they still don't know who fired the rounds that killed bystanders. We have not found that out. We know that at least 2 people fired shots, and one of them is deceased. Still not clear exactly what led to this, who is an outstanding person of interest. And then I'll just note for countless people grieving this and for people who want to express their love and support, there's going to be another vigil Wednesday. They said it's a silent vigil hosted by Seattle Center, a department of the city, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. at the International Fountain.
Paige Browning, KUOW reporter, anchor, all-around journalist here at the station. Thank you so much, Paige.
Thank you, Libby.
Thanks for listening to Soundside. Don't forget you can listen live on KUOW 94.9 FM Seattle at noon and 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, or anytime online at KUOW.org or on your favorite podcast app.